All right, well, let's get into some stories, shall we?
All right.
This one caught my eye earlier this week and made me laugh just because it's so stupid. One of the things I've noticed, that one of the common threads that I notice that people get upset about,
right,
is being held accountable.
Okay.
When someone or something wants to hold you accountable for your actions or how you conduct yourself or whatever, that's when the outrage happens. How dare you tell me I should act right?
Yeah.
Who are you to be so judgy?
Yeah, pal.
And I noticed that. And I think...
Hold on. And meanwhile, they're the ones that are the worst at being on fucking Facebook or Twitter judging every goddamn thing.
Well, of course. But the thing is, and I'm noticing, the trend here. And this goes back to this Don Cherry guy, right? Mm-hmm. He called people out. Mm-hmm. Regardless of you like the words he used, whether he called them these people, he was more or less saying, you know what, if you're going to come live in this country and be a citizen of this country, I would like you to show some respect. But
and let's be clear. There's a huge difference between those people or these people and sand niggers, as an example. There's a huge difference. Those people is a much wider term than narrowing down to a specific culture or a specific,
nationality or origin or whatever you want to call it.
Denomination of people, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, those people, that means just that. That means white, black, blue, green. It means
the people who come here and live and become citizens from someplace else.
Yeah.
You fall into the category of those people.
Yeah, exactly. And again, the media just overreacts and people fucking side with. That's the part that makes me the most crazy. Everybody, I don't care where you stand on anything, you know that the media is fucking corrupt as fuck. So how can you ever take the side of the media? How do you ever take the side of the media on any issue ever? How do you not make up your own mind?
Well, you should, but the thing is we are living in a day and age where 5-second sound bites or 5-second headlines is what rules the day. So I noticed that the headlines of any story is formulated to induce outrage immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
So here's a perfect example right here.
Okay.
Arby's restaurant removes, and of course this is in quotation marks, insensitive sign following an outcry from parents.
An outcry from parents.
Yeah.
About Arby's.
It removes an insensitive sign after the parents begin reeling from it.
Reeling? Oh, my word.
Yeah. An Arby's restaurant in Minnesota removed a sign proclaiming only well-behaved children are welcome, following an outcry from parents who called the move appalling.
You know what I call that move? Inviting. That move actually invites me to potentially come into their fucking restaurant.
Well, again, but what does the sign say? I'm holding you parents accountable for the action of your children. Mm-hmm. And it's how dare you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's how dare you expect me to fucking police this kid?
That's kind of what I'm saying. It's just like, how dare you tell me to make my child behave?
How about this? No one wants to deal with your fucking kid. When your kid, and believe me, now you're going to hit a hot button upon hot buttons with me. Because when my kids were little, They absolutely knew. And I mean, when they were little, 2 years old, 3 years old, I would yank them out of anything.
Right.
If they acted like a fucking asshole. Anything. I didn't care if it was a movie. I didn't care if it was the zoo. I didn't care if it was a restaurant. Nothing. A store. If they acted up, we were outside.
Right.
And you did not want to go out with angry dad outside because he had to yank you out of there because you were acting like a fucking dick.
Yep.
Oh, man. That drove me bonkers. And my kids very rarely did that. Very, very, very rarely. Even when they weren't with me, there were not many times that Georgetta would call me and say, you're going to have to deal with Zach because he was acting like a shithead at fucking Walmart or whatever. She never, I can think of 2 times in their entire existence that I got that call. And maybe one other time that might have happened when they were with me. Yeah, it just didn't happen because my kids knew that was fucking punishable by death.
Of course.
You know, that's, and it's a shame that parents don't do that because it's what it's raising is what we have today, a bunch of undisciplined dickheads.
Well, that's exactly right.
It's fucking pathetic.
A mother of 3 walked into Elk River Arby's for dinner with her family last week when she came face to face with the notice.
Oh my God, how terrible.
Only well-behaved children who can keep their food on their trays and their bottoms in their seats are welcome, the notice read.
What's wrong with that?
If you can't do this, you will be asked to leave. Thanks.
Good! So, and she's mad about this?
Yeah, she's mad about this.
So, a lot of things become crystal clear. One, she's a horrendous parent.
Of course.
You know, not only because she's feeding her fucking kids Arby's, but because anybody that would be mad about this knows that they're a bad parent. Anybody that would raise up and say something about this is just admitting that they have 100% lost control of their kids.
Of course, but again, this is, how dare you hold me accountable?
How about this? Because the rest of us that are in the fucking Arby's don't want to deal with your fucking asshole kid. Sit down, stick that fucking pussy-looking sandwich in your mouth, and shut up! That's it. That's all of it. Eat your fucking gyro and shut up. Just shut up. We don't want to hear your kid yelling. We don't want your kid running around, banging into our table, knocking over our drinks. None of it. Sit in the fucking seat, eat your fucking food, and leave. Cunt. Jesus.
Christine Hemsworth recounted her experience, saying she had been to the location several times, but never encountered a sign like this.
Oh, it's so offensive. It said, take your fucking brats and keep them in your fucking car, cunt face. Isn't that what it said? Oh, no, it said something very polite and innocent. Please keep your kids respectful. That's what it said. That's all the fucking sign said. It said, please make your kids respect common decency rules. What a whore. I hope she gets ovarian cancer so she can't make more. Fucking bitch.
Cunt.
Yeah.
I was shocked
and outraged and flabbergasted.
I was shocked to find a sign like that, Hemsworth told the outlet. It is a fast food restaurant. It's not something with white tablecloths. So what are you saying? If it's not like a fancy restaurant, it's okay to act out? Is that what you're saying?
You dumb motherfucking whore. If you're around a picnic table in your own backyard, you shouldn't tolerate your kids acting like shitheads. What a dumb fucking thing to say. It's not fancy enough to discipline my kids. Fuck you. Stay home. Drown your kids. Just drown them then, because they're already going to be fucked up beyond belief.
Yeah, where's Andrea Yates when you need her?
Yeah, let Andrea start with you first. And then your kids, you bitch.
Cunt!
Yeah!
Hemsworth said she wasn't asked to leave, but said it was an uncomfortable and stressful meal.
So don't eat there!
Uncomfortable and stressful?
I guarantee this is an Arby's?
This is an Arby's.
I can pretty much guarantee, without knowing the city, the state, how the place looks, whatever, I can say, I'm going to make a very general statement, which I don't normally do here, but I'm going to make a very broad statement. I'm going to say that within a mile, there were 5 other restaurants she could have gone to.
Probably.
Go somewhere else if you're that pissed off about your kids being told to behave. Fuck off.
I have a toddler, and I wasn't sure if it was because they didn't want to clean up the messes. Why should Arby's be cleaning up a mess?
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. It's like, well, if my kids make a mess, that's just expected.
No, it's not. That's why they give you a tray. And that's why they told you to keep it on the fucking tray, you dumb cunt.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was because they didn't want to clean up the messes. I always clean up after my children's mess anyway, but it was uncomfortable and a stressful meal, she said.
This fucking over-grandizing bitch, she fucking really doesn't understand what this is about. She doesn't get that it's not about fucking keeping the place, your table clean, that it's about kids that throw fucking food, and it's about kids that run around the place. She doesn't understand that?
No.
She thinks that it's about keeping the fucking table neat?
Well, the thing is that when she read that sign, she knew that this was targeting people like her.
Yeah. People that don't take care of their kids.
Yeah.
That don't raise their kids. That don't discipline them.
Yep.
I hate her.
Cunt!
Yes.
Hemsworth experience drew angry rebukes from parents on
Facebook
who were worried about their own families feeling welcome. One parent tweeted at the company saying, "I'm appalled by this. My son is autistic and would be kicked out for his bad behaviors."
Yes, exactly correct.
Yeah.
You're exactly correct. The rest of us don't give a fuck. We can't help it that you had a diseased womb that made a bad kid. It's not our problem to fucking deal with it. You have an autistic kid, fair enough. We don't have to tolerate it. We don't. We don't want to tolerate it. We don't want to know about your struggle. We don't want to know about what a disappointment it is that you're fucking don't have the kid that you wanted. It's not our fucking concern. It's not our fucking problem. You know what we want? A goddamn Philly sandwich and a set of those curly fries. That's the extent of our giving a fuck. We don't care about you. You don't matter. You're not important.
Disappointed!
Yeah, how about this? How about this cunt that obviously is driving in a minivan? Feed your kid in the car. How about that? Let your autistic kid eat in the backseat of the car. Make sure there's no pennies next to the fucking sandwich, you bitch.
Arby's, whose parent company is Inspired Brands, responded to the customers' concerns, saying in part, "We've spoken to the restaurant team and they have removed the sign as this does not reflect our company values and the family-friendly environment we'd aim to provide in our restaurants."
Blah, 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 blah.
Where's that clip when you need it? See, what I just heard was blah, 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 blah. We recognize the language on this sign was insensitive.
Blah, 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 blah.
We removed it quickly and have disciplined the manager and the team working at the restaurant. It does not reflect our company values and the family-friendly environment we aim to provide in all of our restaurants.
You know what? By saying that, Arby's management, what you're telling me as your customer is you don't give a fuck what I think coming into your place.
Yeah.
So now maybe I won't. Not that I would anyway, but fuck. Now I really won't. Dude, there's no, I mean, admit it, man. When you go to eat, when you go to a place to sit down and eat.
Yes.
You choose places that generally do not have kids in
That is correct. It's usually like a bar, like a bar thing that children are not permitted to be at.
And that's a purpose move, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Because you don't want to deal with anybody else's kids.
Yep. I would not go to a family-style restaurant ever.
If Chuck E. Cheese made the best pizza ever, and believe me when I tell you that is the biggest stretch I could make on the show tonight. But if Chuck E. Cheese made the best pizza ever,
right,
you would not go there to eat.
No, of course not.
Because you don't want to deal with somebody else's fucking kids. No, I can't stand these parents that have forgotten what it was when they were single. When you were single, no, you did not want to deal with anybody's fucking brats. You didn't. You didn't want to deal with anybody's fucking kids. You didn't want to hear them. You didn't want them in the movies. You didn't want them at your restaurant. You didn't want to see them running around. It was never cute. It wasn't cute when you let them run around at the doctor's office when you had a fucking throbbing headache. You always hated everybody else's kids. But once you have your own dear little angels, somehow that's all gone away. Fuck you. Why don't you try remembering your own past? You fucking hated kids that acted like shit. So treat your kids, raise your kids so that they don't act like shit.
Yep.
Them signs like that. You know what happens to somebody like me? That if I would have taken my kids to this Arby's when they were little kids and I would have seen that sign, I'd have been like, okay, and walked right on in anyway.
Yeah.
Know what? Know why?
Because that was not a concern for you.
Absolutely would never be a concern for me.
Yeah, of course.
I know for a fact my 3-year-olds, my 4-year-olds would have come in, sat in their space, ate their food, drank their drink. Worst we would have had is one of them spilling their drink or some shit, on their tray. It would have definitely been on their tray. And that would have been that. There would have been no kids running around all crazy and stupid. Would not have happened. Just, what a lazy parent this bitch is.
Yep.
Hater.
Cunt.
All right. Well, I think we should take a break and then we'll come back and wrap up the show. What do you think?
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Well, for the parent who found that sign offensive, Demon has a song for her.
Okay.
This song features somebody that you and I are not big fans of, but apparently it's an okay song.
All right.
This comes from the band Roxanne.
Okay.
And this is Go Fuck Yourself.
All right.
So here it is. It's Go Fuck Yourself exclusively here
on your classic metal show.